Greetings, Peacekeepers, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Plus Mod. I am Rear Admiral Tirak of the Heavy Carrier Purview, with my heavy battlecruiser escort, the Injunction, as we continue our war of pacification against the now split in half Gorn Confederation. Yes, we're doing quite well, although if we actually want to finish this campaign, we may have to go way over to this. Nope, it's owned by Alliance Star Empire. False alarm on that! So as you can see, we have managed to cut the Gorn Confederation completely in half and are now looking to eradicate the bottom forces. This tile here, unfortunately, is going to be a nebula, which is going to be a little bit difficult to deal with. But yeah, things are going pretty well. Although we have noticed that keeping our carrier going is a lesson in expenses. Yeah, anytime we lose one of these fighters, it's 36 to replace it. It's 144 per group. It can get rough. If we get them all back and fully repaired before the mission ends, then we save money because it counts them as all being at 100%. But if not, well, things get expensive really quick. So let's jump right back in and head down south and cause some havoc. Ooh, we got 2 more Gorn planets that we're going to have to take. We're going to avoid the asteroid base assault. It's a lot of difficulty. Well, not even a lot of difficulty. It takes a lot of time. We'll keep it at that. Got enemy Gorn in the area. It's a convoy. So let's rock and roll. Switch over to the purview. And full speed ahead. He is at red alert? Yes, okay, wonderful. Once before, we managed to switch before the captain decided to go red alert, which was pretty cool at our speed, or it might have just been because he was waiting for me to go to red alert. Not 100% sure which one that would be, but we're going to see what we can do. Yes, we are rambling just a little bit. We'll increase speed to 10-ish. We'll wait for our weapons to charge a bit. And at this time, we only see 3 lonely little freighters. Of course, there's probably going to be an escort somewhere around here. I'm avoiding launching my fighters yet because I want a chance to dump them on, an enemy target. And I have something of a hunch as to why my fighters were completely ignoring every order that I gave them. This hunch mainly has to do with the fact that I think that they were launched before I switched over, and the AI kept them on whatever order they were given. I might be wrong on that. I might be right on that. I don't really know. And frankly, we're going to find out probably this episode when I launch fighters and see whether or not they actually go for what I tell them to go at, or if they zoom off to fight the enemy freighters right away. So shuttle is currently on its way to build. Let's increase time because we might as well. Glancing around, we have a target. It's a freighter. No, not that one. Behind the freighter, my friend. A light cruiser. And if I'm going to miss my... Yep, HBD M4, which means she's an alphabet soup. So yeah, let's go kick her butt. Send out a probe, make sure that she is not endowed with any sort of anti-missile weaponry, and thus being anti-fighter weaponry. She is not excellent. So, fighters, it's time to launch. 1, 2, 3, and 4, all launched, heading towards this light cruiser. Hopefully. If not, then they'll rush right by the light cruiser and go straight for these freighters. But I have hope, and even if they do that, they're still programmed to go right over this path. PPD's selected. He waited until a little bit better range than normal. Not great, but, a little bit better than usual. We'll wait until range 15, as is our custom. 17, 16, 15, open fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we managed to keep it concentrated on only 2 shields. Excellent work there. Okay, so the enemy escort is dead. Let's go give orders to these fighters to have them go after the actual freighters. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All 4 fighters have been given 4 targets, and thus they will now go in and annihilate things. Maximize the speed. No reason to waste any more time than we absolutely have to. It's nice when they actually follow my orders and go out in formation. It looks rather cool, too. Although I imagine that these freighter captains are dreading what's about to happen to them. Looking at the fighters as they could move to overtake, knowing that there's no chance to possibly get away. And as soon as those G-type phasers, yep, boom, boom, boom. Last target. And, come on. Boom. Excellent! Mission complete. Enemy convoy annihilated. They can't just send convoys around like that. They've got to escort them a little bit better. 222 prestige. Excellent. And we neutralized the territory. Good. So let's poke in here. It's a planet, so it's a little bit of a iffy thing to try and go after. But, if you're lucky, then you won't have to actually go on a planetary assault. And if you're unlucky, you absolutely will. Red alert! Switch over to the purview. Thank you. We are escorted by a monster. Another monster. Another monster. Another monster. Once again, we have managed to use some sort of odd technological sorcery to bring with us 4 monsters. We lured them to this location, to these shipyards. That's an Alphabet Soup destroyer. That is a battlecruiser, a proper battlecruiser, with proper battlecruiser-y things. So, we're gonna get behind the monsters and let them do the work. This is the second time in this campaign that we have had monsters basically come along to do our work for us. And these are not poorly armed monsters. Triple Hellbore, quad Hellbore. Yeah, we've got 2 quad Hellbores and 2 triple Hellbores. LCLs and, what was that one? LCMs. So, pretty nice. I'm not quite sure what these weird geometric thingies are based on, but yeah, I'll take what I can get at this point. Yeah, we're going to swoop in behind the LCMs, let them move up first, let them spit out their deadly Hellbore payload, and then, yeah, we'll support. We are, after all, a carrier. Technically, we're not like a battle carrier or nothing, so us moving in first is not really in the cards. We definitely try and play behind the line. We know that if we were to send all our fighters against this this light cruiser, they would annihilate it in one pass. They're really good at that. And at some point, we will send them all against this heavy cruiser as well to do the same thing. Wow, triple miss. Okay. Not super happy about that. 2 S's, 2 F's. So this is not the biggest, baddest battle cruiser that we've ever seen. It's time to turn into the enemy. You shouldn't have done that, man. You only have so much. Let's get all the fighters out of the bays. Alrighty, boys. It's time to go and attack. You're going to go all together on the battlecruiser. We're going to be hitting his flanks. Excellent position for us to be in. The monsters are absorbing damage just like we want them to. And we're going to get in on this. It's not our optimal range, but, you know, he's flying away at a pretty stiff clip. So we want to be able to come in. The monsters are right on top of each other. So there is that. They do appear to be focusing. Please tell me you're focusing on the monsters and not my fighters. Excellent. I'm a little bit annoyed that you've decided to go after the light cruiser instead of the target that I wanted you to, which was the battlecruiser, because the battlecruiser is more dangerous. And now they have no phaser Gs ready. It'll take them a turn to reload and rearm those. And we'll add some long-range phaser fire. It's not much. A range of 12 shot is not doing a ton of damage, but it does enough that makes you think that you're doing something. Crap. Which fighter squadron are you? Okay, you, return to me. In fact, all fighter squadrons, come on home. Back to the barn, please. Okay, let's get you all on board, repaired. Luckily, we didn't lose anything. And there's our target, Star Dock at long range. We'll pop over here to figure out what kind. It's a Federation dock. Okay, so it's got a missile launcher. Not a ton of missiles on board. It is the lower magazine style. And apparently somebody dropped a Wild Weasel. Was it you? Okay, it looks like Injunction's going to power through a mine. And we're gonna let the monsters go ahead. Let them assault. Oh, good, the Injunction avoided it. Nice moves. And we're all sort of gonna chug in nice and slowly. All together now. In formation. Yes, this I think perfectly represents ISC tactics right now. Hiding behind the monsters, letting them do the dirty work. We don't really want to get involved too much. We will go off in this direction to take on this particular Star Dock because it is potentially more dangerous. Let's increase speed just a bit. We will get ahead of them now. We've given up the ruse of hiding behind monsters and will now go after them on our own. It's only a Federation Star Dock. It's not that dangerous. Really, that is the truth. Federation Star Dock, not really dangerous. Now what we could do is we could play it super safe, stay at long range, and just continue to pound them with PPD fire, but that's no fun. We're going to try and get in there with, well, actually probe. Do you have point defense systems? You don't. Okay. Ooh, G-type. Lots of G-type phasers. Eee. Not super a fan of that, so I'm going to go... Never mind. I'm not going to bother because I didn't get there in time. We will slow down to strike speed. Select System 1. which is what we have selected for our PPDs. We will get to within a range of 15 and open fire! Apparently it did not take out the side shields, which is kind of what the plan was. Okay, he's managed to punch through one. So we've gotten in there, we've really laid into it. He lost 2 of his G-type phasers. And, yeah, get a little bit away from their injunction. I don't want to lose you. And we're waiting for the monsters to actually, you know, do their job of being monsters and stuff. Nice work. Darn it. Total miss. Totally pointless. The monsters have wiped out one. We've wiped out one. We're going to keep the fighters on board to keep them alive. I don't want to have to, like, rebuy fighters because that's expensive. Really expensive. So the longer we can keep the fighters on board, the better. So we're going to lock our systems down so that we're only set up where he'll fire when we tell him to. And they're really getting in there with the Hellbores. The great thing about Hellbores is it does not matter which side that they've decided to reinforce, because the Hellbores will always hit the weakest shield, which is why he's lost a little bit of health there. He's taken some damage through the Hellbores. So once we hit range of 15, we will release him to shoot, even though he's a little bit further ahead of us. 17, 15, you may fire when ready. Excellent. Not much left of this. There we go. The shipyard is no more. All the shipyard's taken out thanks to our wonderful force of monsters and us. It kind of makes me think of, like, the sandworms from Dune, and how the Fremen would, like, ride them and then lure them towards the enemy. We're not quite that cool, but, you know, that's the idea. Didn't really manage to do much. The cartel defense is down, kind of. Or the Empire defense, not the cartel defense. Nobody cares about the cartel defense. After all, we're not a cartel. Homeworld assault. Another homeworld? No thank you, but seriously, that's 3 Gorn homeworlds at this point that we run into. Is this just like a chance that comes up anytime that we run into a planet? Because if it is, dude, we're getting really, really lucky on those rolls. And if every single Gorn planet is, you know, a homeworld of some kind, that's pretty weird. Pretty sketch. Alrighty, are making sure that we are prepping. Yep. Prepping a Wild Weasel. The forward shield is indeed being buffed. Let's just tell him, oh, he's already doing maximum power. Increase speed to whatever that is. We are being escorted by a CCX! The Injunction! And the Injunction. So this is the Injunction from slightly in the future, because this is what we want to turn the Injunction into. You know, 2 R-type plasma torpedoes and the I-type, whereas this one is currently only has 2 S-type torpedoes and no I-types. We've got a heavy cruiser and a light cruiser. The light cruiser, I think, was an alphabet soup. Yeah, HBD XSR, that's alphabet soup enough for me. And you are an MCCX, a medium command cruiser, if I'm recalling my Gorn correctly. X, of course, being for an X-type phaser refit. Let's check you out to see what you got. Flash over here. Quickly, check. Is this going to pass close enough to get a weapons read? It might.
Wild Weasel ready.
Wild Weasel number 1 is ready. 2 G's and an S. 2 R's and 2 F's. Okay, so he's bringing the pain. So let's see if we can't deal with that in a fashion that is suitably carrier-like. Select you. You should not have enough defenses to defend yourself. We'll get you all out in a nice little group. They'll all deploy and go after that light cruiser. We will, in the meantime, focus on the heavy cruiser. That way we can cause the most amount of damage. Hopefully he'll pick up speed. I would like this CCX to get into combat before us, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Ooh, this squadron is not at full strength. Are any of you at full strength? Eee. So apparently I had to deploy them again in order for it to believe that I was at full health. We're going to tell you that you must focus my target, because they're going to deal with him no problems at all. We've seen what caveats can do, and it's ugly. Well, no, it's actually gorgeous, but you get the idea. When caveats get to play, it's just like whoosh. Come on. Yes. And now we're going to send you all. Return to me. Return to me. Return to me. Or return to me. I want to get you back. Maximum range. Well, not maximum range, but you know, combat range. Oh no. Run, little fighter. Oh, it's going for us. It's going for us. Boom. 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 Oh, lovely. Absolutely lovely. So he fired at us. We managed to dump a wild weasel. And then he dumped his weasel too late to be affected before Injunction came in and blasted him with plasma torpedoes. And then we were able to follow up with our second PPD, which blew a hole in him. Excellent work, everybody. I'm not going to care about that. All weapons select. Yep, you're done. You're done, son. So, yes. Absolutely lovely. All you beautiful people. An absolute lovely display of excellent firepower. No other way to put that. R-type torpedoes, although he really only weighed in at the very end. Little disappointing on some levels, but it's still nice to see at the very end. Although if he had given me more time, we would have, what we would have ended up doing, we'll accept the surprise reverse. If we had a little bit more time, what we would have ended up doing was relaunching our fighters to try and, like, force it to accept the fact that we had maximum loads. Maximum speed! Switch to the purview! Purview! Maximum speed! Let's see, we've got a heavy cruiser, a frigate, a frigate, and a frigate. So the heavy cruiser, quite, of course, is our target. We are supported by the NDDX, the Bold, who is this destroyer class type. He's got 2 I-type torpedoes to the rear, 3 G-type torpedoes, wow, and 5 X-types along with 4-point defense phaser systems. Wonderful. I approve. Frigate, 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 heavy cruiser. So we're going to get up to maximum speed. We're going to tell you stop trying to charge the ECM. There's no point to that. We're not charging PPDs at this speed, which kind of is not great. But, you know, we've got to get in close and fast. That way we can annihilate these people before they can do anything to us. We do, of course, have 4 fighter squadrons who will make very short work of this entire group, and I would wager that one pass is all my fighters are going to need to completely wipe the floor with this heavy cruiser. Speaking of, what type of heavy cruiser is it? Go straight, please. It is a SAL X2. I have no idea what that means. I should stop even trying to figure out what those things mean. All right, our first wild weasel's ready. Doesn't matter. They're not going to get another. They're not going to get a single shot at us, which is good. Although probe, and the reason I'm probing is because hey, they could have point defense systems, and the point defense systems still work on a surprise reverse. 2 G's and a D. Okay. We've got to kill him first. So we've got to swoop in, slam him hard with fire, and then we can go for the Cell X. Because if we're... squadron, break off and engage. Anything you want. Drop the speed, all power to weapon systems, all weapons selected. We're going to get in nice and close and just slam him with every single phaser we can get. We're going to try and overload his core immediately. So we're going to wait till about range of 1. It worked. Excellent. Fighters. Attack. Leaving 4 fighters to go out after that guy. And now we'll swoop around to come after him. He does have an anti-missile defense system, however it's only an AMD, it's not a Plasma D. AMDs are nice, they're great for taking out missiles, but not so great for fighters. I mean, eventually they'll do it eventually, but it takes them some time. So we're going to get in here, see if we can't cause enough damage so that he can't harm our fighters. They're switching back to escort me. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to immediately order return, 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 all fighters return, and I'm going to dump them right back out. Did all our fighters come home? We didn't lose them, did we? Ah, oh, darn it! The fighter blew up. That's going to be expensive to repair. So one of our fighters exploded. He was too close to the explosion. He took the damage to it. It caused it after he had taken a couple of hits from the enemy. And now he is no more. All weapon systems. Fire. Target this last one. If he survives long enough, he's not going to. So we've got to go home and replace the fighter squadron. That's going to be expensive. I'm trying to save up for another ship, I swear. Ugh. Ships cost money, man. Lots and lots of it. 300 prestige, which isn't bad. We're at 3,000, and we've neutralized it. Okay, we're going to take a risk. We're going to dive right back in here. Shipyard assault. I want to do it. I really do. Unfortunately, we have come to the end of an episode. A shipyard assault would take us too long. So I've been Tirak. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive notification every time I make a video, press the little bell icon. And I will see you all in the next episode.